welcome. My name is Pinky Gilani. You are watching Pinky TV and this is What Women Want. These conversations are brought to you by SBM Bank, and I have to remind you that you have a chance to win a phone from Safaricom, but make sure you watch all the way till the end to find out how. I'm so excited because today our guest is Dr. Tasneem Yamani. She is a geriatrics general physician with over 15 years in the public and private sectors, with a deep passion for older person care and creating the right environment for their well-being. She's also been nominated to be here today by our community on Instagram. So this is our superhero for today. Welcome.
Thank you.
Oh wow, how fun. There's something that's really exciting about you, but we're going to get that. I mean, everything's exciting about you, but there's something that is maybe unpredictable about you, right? So we're going to get into that in a bit. But right now, I'd love to know, and we're just going to get super, dive into, what would you tell your younger self?
I tell my younger self to just live life every day as is, not worry too much, and just do what makes me happy. I think I did that when I was younger. I'll just do it a little more now.
Oh,
because
really?
now I'd have no inhibitions.
Yeah.
Because life's short, no matter how long it is. And I feel that when I was younger, I had many things holding me back from wanting to do what I wanted to. Whether it's society, whether it's culture, whether it's an image, or who thinks what about what you're going to do. But I tell myself, you know what, do right, be respectful, and just do whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
It's not about other people, it's about you.
I say don't intentionally hurt,
Yeah.
but do you.
Yeah, do you, respect people around you, take care of other people's, whether it's culture or not, don't disrespect them, but let not anyone's opinion change what you want to do.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because you care for older people in our community, what do you find are regrets that a lot of older people have?
In the age group that I deal with, I deal with anything from 65 plus. So the thing with older people is no one is the same as the other.
Yes.
They're very diverse. One 65-year-old is running a marathon, the other is in a hospital bed. But the most common part I find is time. Time seems to be a biggest regret. They always constantly feel like, I wish I had one more day to do this, or I wish I had the health to do this. I think when it's the ones that are sick, it's health being the biggest priority they wish for. Maybe doing something different, maybe trying something different. They just wish they were healthier.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you think health is wealth?
Health is definitely wealth. That's why I practice what I do as a geriatric practitioner, and we talk about healthy aging. And we say that healthy aging starts from the day you're born, because you're aging every single day of your life. The only difference is after 35, when we feel we're in the peak of our lives, it's actually the decline of our lives. From 35 on, we're starting down. But if we do it right, then it's not really a decline.
Yeah.
It's more about doing it right, so that by the time you're 60 and 70 and 80, you feel like you're 50.
Yeah.
So start at the right time, put what needs to be done then.
I think this is a really great sort of conversation to have, especially when we're talking about women and aging, because this is, everyone's like, no, I don't want to talk about aging.
We're always hiding our white hairs.
I can't tell you how old I am. There was something that I read, a woman who tells you how old she is can tell you anything. And I was like, oh, come on.
Really?
Why are we denying our age? Because society pushes it on us that we have to stop growing old. And why is it wrong to age? So let's talk about the healthy aging. I really love that. I love that conversation, and how women can sort of empower themselves to, one, accept the fact that they will get older, and two, do it in a great, graceful and healthy manner.
I think the minute we tell ourselves that aging is actually a beautiful phenomena, it's not all about the wrinkles and the gray hair, because wrinkles and gray hair is beautiful. We need to, go past the superficial part of aging and look into what it is really. Yes, it is a decline in certain functions, but if we're able to do things right at the right time, you progress that decline to be a slower one. It goes on better. You eat well. I'm not saying go on to salads all the time. If you enjoy your samosas or whatever it is, enjoy them, because life's to enjoy. But keep a balance in everything. The idea of healthy aging is basically keeping you at your optimum for whatever your environment is. So if you're a very unwell person, you have sickness around you, make the best of that space. And that's what healthy aging works towards, where you're looking at your social life, your physical life, your mental health, and your financial stability as well. All that comes into healthy aging, because as we grow, I mean, responsibilities come and we are running after building lives for ourselves and our children in most cases, or if not, we're always looking for something that's not existent yet. We're running towards a future, yet we're forgetting where we're at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, we forget to take care of ourselves in all those areas.
Yeah.
We don't plan for what, when, how
Mm-hmm.
in the later years of our lives. And I think that's where healthy aging comes in, understanding the concept of aging.
And understanding that you are in control.
Yes.
So, you know, we also were talking about this off camera about, like, you know, what we do for our parents, and it's important to have a conversation with them.
Right.
I remember when my mom could speak, she told me how she'd want her funeral to be.
Okay.
And I'm very grateful to that. At that time, I was like, well, Mom, what are you saying? But she spelled it out. She's like, this is what I want, this is who I want there, and this is what I feel you should do.
Mm-hmm.
I think it made me easier. It made it easier for me.
Gives you peace, knowing what they want.
Yes.
And that's something in our field we call it as advanced directives.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the advanced directive is you telling somebody, both medically and legally, what you would want for yourself, should you be in a situation where you're not able to communicate your decision or be able to even think about what you would want. So when you're able to do it, letting family members or people that love you know that this is how, and making them understand that this is where you'd be the happiest given a situation may arise where you can't.
Yeah.
Gives the family also that peace of having to take that decision, because it's a very heavy decision to do nothing or to do everything that may not help. But more often than not, we're driven towards doing everything because we feel guilty for not trying. We would guilt ourselves, if I didn't take my mom to hospital, well, did I do the wrong thing? Am I the reason she didn't make it? Or is that the reason she's had a stroke or anything? We blame ourselves all the time for something that happens to people we love.
Yeah.
But if we've already heard from them, I don't want this and this is where I'm happy, you're at peace with yourself, knowing that you're doing what they want, and you will actually see it. If you were to take the two decisions, if life gave you that choice of choose, rewind and play, you'd actually see the difference in the two decisions.
Yeah.
Immensely
so.
having a better outcome when you listen to the patient's wishes.
Wow.
And having that early enough, I mean, even as young as 40, is important.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad you said as young as 40.
Yes.
Because that's also like, it's how we word it, etc.
Yeah.
You know, when we're having this discussion, people might feel, okay, it's a bit of an uncomfortable discussion. Like I said, maybe the women watching the show, they don't want to face the fact that they will one day be in a position where they need to make a decision about their life and their livelihood. So how do you suggest, as a person who's dealing with older people on a constant, for women who are now maybe 35 and above to start thinking about these things and engaging family and, like you said, maybe health practitioners or lawyers because, you know, we don't want to think about our old age, we don't want to think about our death, which is why a lot of people don't even write a will. But how would you suggest? What's the best way?
I think for starters, you know, there's something we call ageism.
Yes.
Okay, ageism is when we discriminate against age, and it's not only you discriminating, saying that person's too old. You do it to yourself as well.
Mm-hmm.
People do it to themselves, where you say, when I'm this age, I might not be able to do this. For starters, let's stop being ageist to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It changes the perspective we're going to embrace life with. If I'm positive towards the later years of my life, I'm able to plan that way. If I keep saying that, oh, by 50 I can't go climb Mount Kenya, then chances are by 50 I can't climb Mount Kenya.
Yeah.
But if I start saying I'm going to make sure by 50 I can still do it, I'm going to put into place everything I would need to right now to ensure my bone health is good, my cardiovascular health is good, my physical fitness is good, for me to be able to say, if I choose to want to do this at 50, I can.
Yeah.
Or 60 for that matter. Given, I mean, disease comes along, that's not in anyone's control. But if right now there's a lot of disease because of lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And if we start taking care of healthy lifestyles where exercise is involved, social interaction is involved, physical activity is involved, we change that trajectory of how we're going to age. Mm-hmm. That's one way I'd say is the best way to approach how you're going to grow old, because then you're more positive. You're actually looking forward to growing older. I think this thing of I'm scared to grow old because it's going to be a limiting factor needs to change in our minds, because as women, let's face it, while we're more often with people who have families and children and all, their life becomes about family, about children. They have their careers as well, so they're juggling 3 worlds at a go: home, family, career.
Work, yeah.
You know, trying to put all that in balance, and in all that we forget who we are. We forget ourselves because life's happening. But the minute we realize that when I'm older, my kids will be older, I have less responsibility. I'll have the resource that I've been trying to run after while I had the strength to do it, to expend on myself. And if I'm looking forward to that, then I know at 50, I can embrace life positively. At 60, I can start living. You know, we say life begins at 40. I say life begins at 60. Because that's the time you're not worried about a sensitive thing. You're not worried about having another baby. If you want to have a a happy life out there, you can do whatever you want, however you want. You want to, go on honeymoon again at 60 with your husband, you can. You're not worried about how will we manage the house rent, how will we manage, if you've planned all this out when you're as, young as 35, 40, you're able to live your life in that. Set your goals, know what you want for your life, because you're the only person who knows where you want to be when you're 80. Because stop thinking that you're old at 60, start thinking that you're starting your life at 60, and it makes a big difference on how you plan for it. That takes care of you thinking financially. Instead of worrying about constantly paying bills, you're worrying about how to secure yourself now so that you don't have to worry about bills tomorrow. I mean, financial strains are part of our life. It's part of what we do. I mean, we can't manage without it. But planning makes a big difference.
I think also just not denying the fact that we are getting old.
Yes.
Getting old is a part of life. Do you think it is a woman's role to be a caregiver?
It's funny you say that, because that's the battle I fight on an almost daily basis. Not with people expecting that out of women, but women expecting it out of themselves.
Oh, wow.
We've nurtured, culturally and, everywhere, it's just nurtured into us. We are caregivers. That's what we're created to do, be a caregiver naturally. It comes to us. Like, even when you're not supposed to care for somebody, you find yourself automatically thinking about it.
Yes.
Taking on that responsibility. But now things, and that's why people are living longer right now. Life has changed. Better healthcare, better nutrition, meaning women are going out and working. So them being able to do the primary caregiver role becomes very challenging, because you can imagine work, parents, in-laws, children, home, all that. I mean, you're one human being. How do you manage it? So that role of saying it's a woman's job to be the primary caregiver is not necessarily true when it comes to older people. There is help. It is okay to say, I need the help. And that's why we talk about getting people who are trained to care for older persons, involve them in your care early. So you're able to remember you have a parallel life going on at the same time as caring, being the caregiver. It's part of your genes, so to speak. Being a caregiver is part of who you are as a woman. But it's okay to also know there's a parallel life to the caregiving life. And you don't have to be the caregiver physically doing everything yourself. You can get somebody to help you do it, and you're still the caregiver, because you're making sure it's being taken care of. So you need to stop looking at caregiving as, I have to cook, I have to clean, I have to take the kid to school, I have to change the diaper.
Yeah.
It's as long as you know you've put things into place, a system, basically, whatever system works for you as an individual, because every individual is different. Some people want to be the one doing it, which is fine, and it gives them the happiness, so they're okay with that role. Other people find it difficult to be that person, and it's okay for you to have somebody there doing it where you need the help, reaching out, bringing a village together, because caring for older people needs a village. It's not one person's job.
I know that.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about you, Dr. is that you are, or maybe you can tell us,
Yeah, I love my bike. I love biking.
So, like proper motorbike?
Yes,
biking.
Yes,
wow.
yes. I'm part of an association called Women Bikers Association, and they ride to change lives for women. They want to impact women positively.
Yeah.
Their role is to try and do as much as they can for the community, for the society, by being riders. They embrace their passion to make a difference, and I think, for me, that's one of the places where I realized what I'm preaching is not what I was practicing about 3 years ago. I've been wanting to write for a long time, but I have young kids. I have 2 little angels, but yes, they're kids at the end, and they take the time. And at some point I found, like, I want to do this, but I can't. I want to do this, I can't. And I reach a point, I'm like, okay, balance. I need to find me again. I lost myself in that whole journey at some point of I mean, I didn't mind, I was not unhappy, but I forgot who I am as Tasneem.
Yes.
And at that point is when I realized, okay, it's time to balance things out. It's okay to decide to ride down to Diani for 3 days. My kids are going to be fine. They will not die if mommy's not there for 1 day. Everyone is okay with that. I need to stop guilting. That whole guilt that we put on ourselves as women needs to change.
Yes.
And it comes in the same space as a caregiver, as a mother, as a daughter, as a wife. Whichever role we play, I always find women tend to have guilt in them.
Yeah.
Because we are,
always.
like I said, the caregiving is a natural component of who we are. So when we're not doing it, or we're trying to allocate it or delegate it, we feel like we're failing on somebody or to somebody. But we forget that we might be failing ourselves as well at the same time.
I think so. But, you know, this bike riding is fascinating because you said you started it, what, 3 years ago?
I learned it about 4 years ago, but I actually got onto my bike fully last year in 2020. So I'd learned how to ride, but just not getting around to doing it. And last year I said, okay, now I'm ready, because my son's now no longer breastfeeding. He's older. I'm okay to leave him for a couple of hours, and it's okay. And I learned a way to communicate with my kids through this. So biking gave me a lot. It taught me how to have a better relationship with my children.
Wow.
And that's what I mean by following your passion. It doesn't have to be biking. It could be anything you love doing. It will have you have a better relationship with the people you love.
And it's not common. You don't see women on bikes, but you guys took a trip, like you said, to Diani.
Yes, we were trying to raise awareness.
You left Nairobi.
Yes, we rode all the way. We spent a couple of days there and came back. We were riding to raise awareness for Alzheimer's and older persons. So that was the cause. We will be riding again for cancer in October.
The breast cancer.
Yeah, the breast cancer. So those are the things we're looking at doing. I mean, we try and do as much as we can. We're involved in tree planting and different activities.
I mean, this is a group that should really be celebrated. It's something extremely unique, and a lot of people are afraid of getting on a bike. Personally, saying a lot of people, but me.
I was also scared. I promise you. You should have seen me at my first lesson. It was quite. The guy kept telling me, and he's like, "Okay, I'm holding the bike." He kept telling me he's holding the bike and I'm riding, and then at some point I see him in front and I'm like, who the hell is behind me? And he's like, you see, you kept saying you can't, but you don't even know when you can. We limit ourselves a lot, and that's, I mean, whether it's through a bike, a bicycle, a sporting activity, any physical activity, a lot of times we feel like we can't. I mean, some mom will say, oh, I can't just start going swimming right now. I don't have the time. But if you say you can't, you never will. Until you actually put yourself out there, you never will. So it's important to do that young, so that it still comes back to the healthy aging. By the time you're at an age, you're still able to do everything quite independently, not lose yourself. And those are I have had patients who are about 100 years old, walking, laughing, talking to me. And when I sit and listen to them, I'm like, you did it right, because you just lived your life at your terms. You did what you had to for your family, and you were happy with it, but you also didn't limit yourself. Even now, they don't limit themselves. So when we start arguing with our parents who say they want to walk, and you say, no, you're too old to start doing that, no, don't, we need to stop. Because we are limiting them from letting them just be the best they can for as long as they can.
What was your favorite subject in school?
Biology.
Of course. Of course. If you could eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Salad.
Salads?
Yes.
Which
salad.
one?
Just green salad. I like lettuce.
For the rest of your life, like no other taste?
Yeah. I like lettuce. I don't know why. I just like the crunch of lettuce.
Really? That's the only meal you'd eat?
I think I'd be happy with lettuce.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
How many pairs of shoes do you own?
Bad question. Like 3.
What would you do if you won the lottery?
What would I do? Honestly, I'd build a geriatric hospital.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How cool. Okay, so these are your superhero questions. You know, being a superhero, you could have the superpower of going back into time. If you could go back in time, when would you go back to?
I would go back to today. Yeah, because I think I'm happy with how life has been. And I don't know what I would want to redo. I think I'm okay.
So you wouldn't go back?
I wouldn't go back. I'm okay going forward.
Yeah.
I'm okay going forward.
Wow, that's a good attitude. If you could be any superhero, who would it be and why?
I'd be Wonder Woman.
Why?
My daughter loves her, so I just be loved all the more.
What is the best gift you have been given? So not like a physical material gift, but within you and your personality. What do you feel is your biggest gift?
I think my empathetic side is one of my biggest gifts. It's helped me be who I am, how I am. And in terms of gifts outside of me, I think it's my family, my parents, being able to be there for my parents and to take care of them at their age.
What are you afraid of?
What am I afraid of? I'm afraid of losing my parents. Yeah. I'm afraid of losing my parents because I deal with old people every day. So that's a reality that's real for me on a daily basis. So that's my biggest fear.
As a doctor, do you understand the cycle of life and death?
Does anybody really understand life and death? I think as a doctor, it makes it more real because it's there. It's part of what I do or what we do as doctors. It comes across as what would be on somebody's routine basis. So it makes it more real, but I think that's why I said that the empathy in me makes it even more real because I feel every time I lose my patient, I feel the family. I shouldn't as a doctor, yes, but I am human. I mean, I think that's what we forget. Doctors are also human. So we're not emotionally attached, yes, but we can't help it. At least in the space I am. Yeah.
So now it's game time, and you know what it's like over here. Dr. Tari is going to look at a word that Olive is holding behind me. I've not seen these words, and then we're going to see how much of a super actor you are. Okay, all the words are alongside something to do with a superhero. So, unfortunately, I don't have anything to give you, but I can give you a hug or a clap.
That's fine. That's good enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
We go. Let's see. Mask.
Okay.
She makes it too easy, I think. Shield.
Good.
These are too easy. You've done these before. You've done them before.
Oh, okay.
She's done them before.
Think of new words.
You have new words. Yeah, that's too easy. Olive. Okay.
Really?
Hypnotize. Wow. Fly. No?
No.
Wings? So easy. Or I'm just
You're just
a superhero. Well done. Yay! So remember, on What Women Want, these conversations are brought to you by SBM Bank. So of course we got to talk a little bit of money. So we're going to play the money card, and I'm going to ask you to pick a card. Yeah? Okay. What are you most insecure about?
If you asked me this 10 years ago, I'd have a lot of answers for you. At this point, I don't think anything, to be really honest.
Really?
Yes.
See, this is what I love about getting older, that you get more confident in your skin and who you are. And that's what I keep saying to people when they say, oh, you know, getting older is a bad thing. It's not, because I really find that women who are more mature and they really
know what they want, they know how to get it, and if they don't get what they want, they also know how to adapt to it and just move on. Move on. Yeah.
All right, so here's your money question. Money doesn't grow on trees is a term that we hear. Do you agree or disagree? And let me know why.
I agree, it doesn't grow on trees because you have to work hard for what you want. And yeah, if it grew on trees, it'd just be as easy as go pluck it and misuse it.
Yeah.
When you work hard for it, you know how to value what you've worked for.
So do you believe that we need to work hard in order to value money?
I think we need to work smart and learn how to respect the use of money. Use it for the right thing. I mean, use it for yourself, yes, but also know how not to just exploit money. That's what I believe. My simple take is the world is a small place. There's a lot to do in it, but not everything revolves around money. So we need to stop making everything about money. It should be more about enjoying the money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's important to have money. It's important to use your money wisely, and just make good use of it the right way. That's my take.
Thank you so much. That's amazing. Remember, Safaricom encourages you to go beyond. If you know any superheroes within your community, make sure you let us know who they are, and they could be on this show as well. Your chance to win a phone from Safaricom is right here, right now on What Women Want. Comment below and let us know who you think is a superhero, and maybe it is you. What are your superpowers? I'd like to know. And if you are nominating someone, let us know of their superpowers as well. Remember to tag us and share this video for your chances of winning to go higher. Remember, you can use your money wisely with SBM Bank. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next week.